All right, another episode of Fight Stories here in New York City in the lovely Brilliant Idiot studio. Big shout out to Andrew Schulz for letting us rock. That's your boy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. This is a nice setup. A lot of books on the wall that we've never read or will.
Yeah, this is the opposite setup for this podcast. Like, this should be in a back alley beside a dumpster full of broken vodka bottles. Yeah, this one's not. This is a liquor. We've been told this is a. There's liquor in there. It's a dummy cabinet.
No one told me about that. You don't tell the drunk.
Yeah.
Don't tell Tyler.
Yeah, John Moses, Tyler Morrison, our guest today, friend of mine. I've been doing comedy with him since I first moved to New York. Oh my God, 17 years ago, Brooklyn Mike.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, Mike, thanks for
so
doing
much.
the episode. Recently on a tour with Chris Rock, helped him write. He was first. How did that come about? Because I know we named you in the book, right, as one of the dudes. He was like, "Yo, Brooklyn Mike's so funny."
You know, it's so funny that he called me to help him to assist. With him and Michelle Wolf for his SNL monologue.
Oh, cool.
And it was so funny because I've always known Chris. We've never hung out. We've never shared a beer.
Wow.
Like, I don't have no stories.
Right.
I don't have no stories with him. So when he actually called me during the pandemic, and he was like, hey, I've been watching you. He says, I need a different voice. Come help me and Michelle Wolf. Just assist with this monologue. And I thought somebody's fucking with me. It sounds like, nah, you call my cell phone. I know you got management. And it's like, okay, shit, let's do it. I was fucking intimidated. You know, it's Michelle Wolf. Yeah. I'm like, I get in the room and these writers, these Emmy Award, I'm like, okay. And at first I was fucking nervous. I was really intimidated. Yeah. And then I was just like, he has me here for a reason. And I noticed I was just different.
Yeah.
And he just wanted, and he says, yo, I got you. And I'm like, okay. And it worked. Right. So, but yeah, I tell people all the time, it's not like we drank a beer, we hung out, we smashed some girls. Yeah. He just pulled me out. And I was very happy for that.
Of course.
Yeah, that's great.
Of course. It's very funny because he said, you're always a dude that I was like, oh man, yeah. Like, in that scene, so I come and started doing like the rooms with Marshall and Artie.
Yeah.
Black comedy.
Black comedy.
Black comedy in New York City. In the hood, But you were always like, you've always had like, to me, it's funny that Chris Rock says it because I'm always like, oh man, you've always had like a very original take. You're a guy I stuck around to watch.
Right.
Even the last time I saw you a month ago.
Yeah.
My chick's like, can we go? I'm like, no.
Right. Yeah.
I got to watch it for a few minutes. I want to see what he's talking about. Yeah. You know what I mean? So you've always definitely had that original voice. But that's not why you're on this podcast. No. All that creative, now that creative shit is over. Right. Now that your accolades have been given
Chris
out.
should have brought you in for the slap.
You know what? Yeah. I met him at the Walmart Theater in Boston the day afterwards. And the crazy thing about social media, the shit really happened to him.
Yeah.
There's some people who really believe they stage it. And I was like, no, dude, that was real. Shit.
I know.
He was going through some shit. I was like, no, that shit. No, it was fake. It was fake news. I was like, that's so fucking crazy. Social media. But then I also realized who was all his friends. Like his friends, like people say, are you his friends? I like to say I'm a coworker, but I'm trying to nurture that coworker to be a friend because his friends is Oprah. Like everybody fucking like Oprah, Seinfeld, what is that? The Hot Chili Peppers group.
Hot Chili Peppers.
It was just, but those are his fucking friends. I'm not his friends, but everybody called. Everybody met him on the road, was hanging out with them. Kid Rock showed up. We fucking hang out.
Kid Rock.
Yeah, that's his brother.
Kid Rock. Everybody showed up. I was like, oh, okay, those are his friends.
That's crazy.
Paul, the Beatle.
Paul McCartney.
Right,
Paul McCartney.
Out.
Paul McCartney.
You know what I mean?
You okay? You okay, Chris?
So those are his real, and they all came for, and I was like, no, that shit really happened, folks.
Of course. But that's funny too, dude, because like, I don't know what to believe on social media anymore. I'm like, dude, what is even real?
I knew something was like we were on vacation at the Great Wolf Lodge with our kids. Yeah. My wife and I are there, and everyone's asleep. And I was watching the Oscars when that happened, and where I was watching it, I guess they like preempted it or something. Yeah. So like there was some sort of delay, so I didn't see it live. it comes back on, and I see Will Smith just talking shit in the crowd, and I'm like, oh, something went down here. So I went over to Twitter, formerly Twitter, now X.
Yes,
I go over there, and I'm like, just Google Will Smith, or just type in Will Smith, Chris Rock, and then it comes up. I'm like, oh shit!
Yeah.
I wake my wife up. I'm like, you got to see this shit. This is crazy.
I know. Waking your wife up though, that's actually crazy.
Oh yeah, I should have got slapped. Chris got slapped.
Just went, what?
And it was so funny because people knew that I was working with him. They was like, yo, your man got slapped. What happened? I was like, I don't know. I wasn't there. So,
I know.
Yeah, but that was a real slap.
That was a real slap. But you're like, also, it's like, I'm trying to get into that friendship circle. It's like, well, it sounds like he could use a couple of non-Oprah friends just to be like, wait, what happened? Because my boy Dino got slapped at the mothership by Bobby Lee, and I immediately raised up. I was like, oh man. So we were talking. So I've known for a long time. I went back when I was living with Artie and Marshall. I forget how this came up. This was way before this podcast was even an idea.
Right.
I think I must have said like, yo, has Brooklyn ever been in a fight, or is he tough or whatever? And Marshall told me a story about you guys. Something happened. I don't know where it was. Maybe Barry Ribs was there.
Right.
But like
Barry Ribs is always there.
Yeah. Barry Ribs was living in a phone booth outside of the place. So, but he like Marshall turns around. He said all of a sudden he just saw tables getting tossed. Yeah. What happened with that?
We was in Harlem. I remember as if it was yesterday on 125th Street, and I was actually doing the show. And I don't mess with people in the crowd, but there was a heckler, and he was with his boys. And what happened was when he was by himself, he was quiet. So then all of a sudden, his boys came in some drink, and he started popping shit. And I was like, oh, I get it. You are a hyena, right? Everybody else laughed except for him and his boys because they didn't know. You know what hyenas about themselves? They're some pussies.
Yeah.
And now they're with the crew. So I was like, you're a fucking hyena. You was here by yourself. Everybody's laughing at him.
You just called him right out.
All of a sudden, he came on the stage. I was like, this can't be really happening.
Yeah.
And I knew he was going to sucker punch me. And he did. And we started fucking fighting, cheers, bottles. And this is when I said, Marshall Brandon is my friend. Because Marshall was running with 2 chairs, and I was like, yeah! I was like, fuck it, yeah! Hit me up as they beating my ass and chopping me. Y'all don't even know what's about to fucking happen. And Marshall just crashed him, just was swinging fucking chairs, throwing bottles. Everybody was throwing. I fucking punched a girl in the mouth. It was crazy. I was just, but it was like Marshall was coming in slow motion because I didn't see. I'm getting jumped, and when you get jumped, you just want to cover up your vital parts. Yeah. But through here, I see them coming. I was like, the cavalry is about to shut this bitch down. And Marshall was hitting everybody with the chair.
It's so funny because you didn't even say that part. You didn't even tell me that part.
Girls was getting hit with chairs. Guys was getting hit. The fucking bouncer got hit with chairs, and it's a couple of. And then there were times where I was.
Wait, because like that part. When you're like mid-fight though, and you could just get a moment to like see something happen, and you can appreciate it. You're like, oh, dude. Yeah. I remember I was in a fight with a dude, and his friends pulled me off of him, and they were holding my arms back like that. Gosh. And this guy gets up, and now I was just on top of him, and he sees me, and he starts running at me, and I just remember it was like, oh, these guys don't got my legs. And I kicked that guy straight in the face. But it's that little moment of recognition mid-fight.
I love that. I had one. I was fighting this Asian dude right out on this out on Bloor Street in Toronto, and I'm pumping this guy, and I look over, and my buddy Wade just choke slams what is clearly this guy's twin brother.
Wow,
on the ground, and the guy, and he's got him on the ground. He's about to come down with a big left fist,
a bomb.
And the kid looks up. He's like, "I'm not with him. I'm not with him. It's your twin brother, dude." And I'm laughing.
That's crazy.
Oh, good. Is that what were you saying?
No, and it's just I don't look for fights, but if because I don't know how to argue.
Yeah.
So, but
dude,
if
I get
right. So if I see trouble coming my way, I'm gonna go the other way. I don't call me what you want to call me because I don't want to get into it because people don't fight no more. Like people back then, you fight, you lose. You gotta get there, and everybody goes away. I don't want to have to look around.
Dude, whenever I'm like, I watch these, we all watch them on Twitter. You see somebody get stomped out. I'm never like I see the knockout. I'm like, oh man, he got it. As soon as they get to like stomping or like hitting the, I'm like, oh come on, man,
it makes you sick.
That's too much. It makes you sick, bro. It's too much.
It really does. So, but when I go there, I'm just like, fuck it.
Yeah.
I think about because you might just be fighting me because you don't like me, but I'm like, I want to get home to my kids.
Yes.
I want them to see them all. So I'm gonna bite your nuts. I'm gonna fucking try to poke your eye out, like because I want to go home. I want to, you know what I mean? Like
100%.
Daddy's coming home.
Right, I'm coming.
Dude, I'm going for the eyes every time.
You getting a hickey? You're getting something because I want to get the fuck home, and I'm scared. Now I'm scared because you might hurt me. And then there's the other side of it too. Like I wanted to fight somebody because he was making me feel like a loser. I did a show in Ohio, and it was an older guy. He could have been my father, and I stayed there at this theater for like 6 hours. I watched him pay everybody.
Right.
And now I'm like, hey, and he kept pushing me off. He said, yeah. And I'm talking about, it's almost 9 to 10 hours that I want my money. Everybody, this guy's drinking, having a good time. And I'm like, man, fuck it. I know I'm not going to get my money. I could beat this motherfucker. I'm like, you know what? I'm telling everybody, tell his name, come on in the room. And you know Jonathan Gates.
Yeah.
Jonathan Gates hooked me up with that show. And I'm in there and I'm threatening. I'm told his whole staff, have him come see me in my fucking room. And I wanted to make sure this guy wasn't related to Jonathan. I said, this dude fucking making me feel like a loser. He's pushing me off. When I see him, I'm going to beat his ass. Jonathan said, whoa. He says, Mike, please just Google him. He's going to give you the money. I was like, I ain't Googling nobody. He says, no, Mike, I'm going to need you to do that. He says, Mike,
I need you to do that. Yeah.
When I Googled him, the first page was him choking people like this. He was some type of military fucking kung fu guy. All his shit was choked. All his opponents was like he kicks ass. This is all he do. He knew pressure points. He fucking knew. And all the shit I seen him doing. I got a kick in this guy name. All his pages was like, pulling guys' hearts out. And I'm like,
Jonathan Gates, please just Google him. Yeah, please.
I popped so much shit.
Yeah.
And now he comes in the room, he's loosening his shit. He said, they said you was looking for me. I'm tired. I've had but he would have beat the shit.
Yeah, he's loosening his
right. He was like, they told me he was stretching. They told me he was looking for me. I said, no. I was just looking
I just really wanted to say sorry.
Right. I was just like, no, he would have fucked me up. He'd have beat the living shit out of me. But I got fucked up with being in Japan with Kareem.
Yeah.
We're doing a military run in for the Marine camp. We go to Okinawa, which is a Marine base, and at Gate 2, that's where you can get all the sex, get your dick sucked, blowjobs. Anyway, at Gate 2 in Okinawa, Japan. So the fucked up thing about it is me and Kareem didn't want each other to know we wanted to go buy some pussy.
It's so stupid.
Like for whatever reason.
I am leading with that.
We were just talking shit and just like, nah. And it's so funny because we kept saying, well, I don't see why these guys, man, much pussy I get. Yeah, I ain't fucking, nah, man, fuck these Asian bitches. And then we go outside the gate, we just hanging around. I'm like, man, I'm gonna just walk around. Kareem was like, I'm gonna walk around too. So there at Gate 2, you go in the hills, and they had these whorehouses where you fuck and suck or whatever. And I slide up in one, and one girl's like, "Hey, come on, you!" And they automatically just start touching your dick. Yeah, come, yeah. And I go in on one end, and I'm in there, and it's just sheets. There's no doors. It's just fucking sheets. And I'm in there, and she's massaging me, and then all of a sudden a lamp come on because I see a curtain. It's the other room. I don't know it's Kareem, but I see his silhouette. And I want to let him know. I don't want him to know that I'm there. Yeah. And he's telling me to go, shh, just come on. Just sucky. She's like, no, sucky. I can see that whole silhouette because it's dark and it's just a lamp. Kareem is naked. He's like, sucky. And this bitch like, no, fucking sucky. So the girl I'm with, she's like, wait a minute. So I'm like, no, let me go over here to check this shit out. I see all three of them arguing. Kareem was like, you shut up, bitch. Sucky, you, bitch. Like, I paid for turkey. They started arguing like they were in a fucking relationship. I'm over here naked, just looking at this silhouette. And they tell him, go use some shit. So they Kareem like, my money. She threw the yen at him. And I'm like, oh shit. So the girl came back to me. It was just like, you, Papa Son, Lun. And I'm like, Lun, but they're R's. They don't pronounce, they're R's and L. So she was telling me to run. But I was like, she was like, learn, you learn. I'm like, huh?
I think she said learn. Like, right, did you learn?
You learn. I'm like, right. No, you learn. She helped me with my clothes. I'm like,
she wanted you to run away because he was.
Yeah, because some shit is about to go down. Like the motherfuckers is about to go down.
That's about
right,
to
so you learn. That's what she
Yeah. We don't want you to get. You all look the same.
Right.
Yeah, we don't want you to get scooped up.
I want to say, I'm American. He's African. I don't fucking. And she just kept saying learn, and I got dressed. Man, it was a mob of motherfucking Japanese guys. They was talking to me. I didn't know what they were saying to say, and they surrounded me. They was like, and I was just like trying to tell the girl, tell him if I could take you to the guy who did this shit. The motherfuckers kicked it was a kick. I knew a kick was coming. I knew they could not let me go. They had to make me pay for what these motherfuckers, and they was little punching me, kicking me in my back, hit me with some nunchucks. Kicked me in my ass. They kicked me in my fucking ass on the ground. I thought that shit was never until like some American military police came by and broke the shit up. And they was talking to them, and they understood Japanese. And he was like, yo, they said you was with someone that was violating a woman. I said, no, what me? I'm holding my lip. They fucked my ass up, right? I get back to the base. And Kareem still don't know I was there, but now I gotta let him know he was just there. I said, yo, man, what happened? Nothing happened. I was just walking around. Sucky. He's like, oh, shit. How you know? And I said, and then he said, it was an angry mob just walking around looking for people. I said, yeah. They fucked me up looking for you. Hell, they beat my ass.
Dude.
And Kareem was like, you all right? I said, yo, don't say shit to me. He said, I didn't know you was going to be there. I said, I didn't know you was going to fucking be there. So yeah, they fucked me up. They beat my ass.
Hey guys, if you're enjoying this episode, make sure you comment, rate, subscribe, hit that bell so you get alerts for every time we post a new episode, and make sure you tell someone about the podcast. That's the only way this thing grows, organically. And guys, if you really like these and you want extra episodes, bonus, ad-free, uncensored content, make sure you follow us, subscribe on patreon.com. Get over there and support the pod, baby. We love bringing these to you. And again, if you have a fight story that you want to be on the podcast, or you have a friend that you know has enough fights to carry an episode, we want to hear them. So hit us up, send us your fights, or tell us about what's going on, because we want you on the show.
Oh, man. Me and Andor's, we were coming back from two of the 5 worst gigs I've ever done in my life were with Andor's. And we were coming back from Pennsylvania. And I was like, yo, dude, you want to stop at this massage parlor? Like, it's just like, you could tell, like, the massage place.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know, man. I was like, come on. So I could tell the story now that I'm divorced. And we go in there, and, like, there was a woman working the front desk, and she was kind of beat. And then she was like, oh, yeah, the other woman will be with you in a minute. So we pay. The money goes in a metal box. It's not coming out, So she goes upstairs and she goes, oh, the other lady just went on lunch break. It's just me working. Which one of you guys is going first?
Oh,
and I was like,
gosh.
And then before I could even process that,
right.
Jason's like, oh, I'm going first. And so, because he didn't want to get jacked off after she touched my dick, right? So I can hear him through the door, like the conversation with the woman.
Right.
And the woman at one point, like they're doing like the get to know you. And the woman, she goes, this wasn't really my first career choice.
Oh, my God.
It's like, yeah, no shit. I put my clothes on, and I went in the car, and I was like, oh, you can keep my money. And he came out, and he's like, what happened? I go, I heard you fucking, the big confessional. I couldn't go through with it.
That's fucking crazy, man.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I told him that I was, trying to get you on. And he said, oh, ask him about Dogface. Yeah, you don't want to do it. You don't have to do it.
You know what? And you said the name. So, because this person is, out of respect for this person's family, he's deceased.
Right.
So that's why. But anyway, what happened was.
But he did try to get you.
That's what happened. It was Christmas on West 4th Street in a club in the basement. He's a new comic. And, you have bits you do around holidays that resurface around
Of course, yeah. You got your seasonal, right.
Right. So I went killing the place, and I did the bit. And it was such a elementary fucking joke. But he came up to me and was like, yo, you stole my bit. And I was like, what are you talking about? I do that all the time. And then it was like, because he was known for being an aggressor and a bully.
Right.
And I was like, well, where do I go to see you perform? I go no. So I was hitting him with stuff like that. Where do I go?
Yeah.
I'm not allowed in the places. And I was saying that shit.
Yeah.
And he was just such a bully.
He was getting amped up.
He was in my face. And I was like, okay, we got to fight. And because I'm so mild, why did I say mild? But anyway, I'm so just laid back.
You don't present like that.
Right. I don't look. And then I sized him up. And I was like, okay, I'm left-handed. And I caught him with a left hook. And when I say I hit him so hard, he fell. All I could hear somebody say, he got a gun. I said, he do. He slid under the table. But again, when you get scared, and I'm not the aggressor, and I'm like, I don't know how to talk, knocked him out. He was out. The paramedics came and make sure, and I started getting scared because I didn't know, but he was the aggressor. And the thing with that is, New York comics are the fucking worst. Everyone wanted to see that happen to him.
Yeah.
So when it happened, they was on the radio. Oh, and a left, and another left, and another right. And he goes down. He gets dogged in his face. And shit.
Yeah.
And then he retaliated. I'm at Bronx BBQs with Capone. And I'm up there, and he had some guys, and they was about to jump me, but they were out of shape, so I was able to run. One guy grabbed my shirt, and I just ran, but he tried to retaliate. Yeah, but there's 1,000,001 fucking fights that be going on, and it'd be comedians. It's like, I don't get it. But yeah, those fights break out, especially in clubs. Club fights are the worst because when you go into these towns, and I know you guys know, you just don't know who to mess with. You don't.
Dude, you're always like you're a lone gun.
Yeah.
Maybe you got your boy who's with you.
Right.
And maybe that guy also can throw down.
That part. So it's just like, and then as you get older, so everyone getting back to the Chris thing, it was like, had you been there, was Mike? What if you would have been there? And I was like, if I was there, I'm gonna help my friend, but what I'm gonna do? Go back and get my crew. My crew, they're done.
Right.
Bad knees, they got all hypertension, high blood pressure. These guys got
exactly.
One guy got a stroke. His arm
nagging injuries.
Like the gun guy takes accessoride. Like but fights. The women, I think. What do you think? The women fights are better.
No, I mean they're great. I mean, like when you're watching Twitter, they're the most fun. You know what I mean?
Unorthodox, right?
Yeah.
I feel like when I watch a women fight that aren't MMA, like just regular people
like
fighting.
Women on the streets. Like when the woman hit that baby.
Yeah, when you watch the fight, I feel every one of those punches because you know that the person in the fight isn't bracing for it.
Yeah.
Right, that's what it is. That's so true. It's like at least when you know you're about to fight somebody, you build it up.
Yeah,
and you know it's going to come.
Yeah, you've been hit before.
Yeah, and it's just like, but when you go against someone who it's like someone could weigh 60 pounds. If they catch you sleeping with their wife, I don't care how much you weigh, that energy that's coming behind that is going to be brutal. And then as we get older, the heels take forever.
Oh yeah, nothing.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, nothing.
The heel takes forever to go away. So who wants to do that? But people are not fighting no more.
Yeah, you win.
When's the last time you seen a good fight? Just when nobody jumped in and everybody was
in person, years.
Right.
Yeah. But I'm also not out on the streets like that anymore.
Right.
We were at a concert last night, and these guys are down low, pushing each other around. We were so far removed from all that. We were up there with the senior citizens, bro.
Most comfortable seats at a punk concert.
Right.
Yeah.
That's so funny you say that because when I was in Heidelberg, I never knew anything about mosh. The mosh pit.
Oh, yeah.
I never knew anything about it. Roger Raj, we were in Heidelberg, and they was having this big mosh pit going on, and they got real violent, and he told me, don't walk in there. And I'm like, fuck it, let's go, let's do this. And I was in the center of it. And they was singing like show tunes and shit like that. And all of a sudden, everybody just started beating the shit out of him. I thought it was racial. I was like, they don't like the black guy. Like, they really fucking punch you and elbow, and then they'll just stop. And just everybody just starts singing. So yeah, I got my ass beaten. One of those
yeah. I've never been in that.
Have you ever seen them though?
Oh god, we just saw. I mean, it was tame, but
that's
some of them
Satan.
get wild. I'm never getting involved in that. You're a better man than me.
Straight elbow punch kicks, and everybody act like it's okay when the music come down. I'm like, these guys got.
Nobody does fight anymore. Like that's in the comedy like nobody does cocaine the same way. Nobody fights anymore. It's not so rock and roll. I mean, it's not just comedy. It's everywhere.
Right.
But what was it like? Even 20 years ago, on the scene, because we had, Donnell did it and he was talking about, getting, hit on stage twice.
Yeah. I was with Donnell one time. We was in Connecticut.
Right.
And he was getting on this guy so bad. And the guy, this is when he had a CD. And he gave a guy a CD, and the guy threw the CD back in his face, and it cut his face. And then he just took like a mic stand and started beating the shit out of this guy. And it was a brawl. It was just me and him. And shit, we out there fucking fighting. We don't know who's who. Yeah. And then we were able to escape out through the back through a sheriff or some shit. But yeah, Donnell clubbed the shit out of this guy with him, split his whole shit open. So everybody's fucking fighting.
Yeah, it was just more dangerous.
Yeah.
It was, who was a comic that was like a dangerous dude? And I don't mean like a bully or anything like that. I was just like, who else would basically throw down?
Jimmy Martinez.
Of course.
Right, he's a knuckle. I mean, he's who he is, but if I had to pick somebody to be on my side in a fight, it would be Jimmy.
He's the boogeyman of this podcast.
Jimmy Martinez
his name gets mentioned.
Times.
Yeah, but you get what I'm saying? But he's a guy, and he lived with me and Donnell. So, him, I've been him, Marshall Brandon.
Yep.
Yeah, those guys.
Marshall's super
right. So
unexpected.
It's right, exactly. So yeah, but Jimmy Martinez for sure.
Oh yeah,
if he's with you, he's with you.
Yeah.
He's not a guy to get. He's not a guy that's afraid to get a cut on his face, or he don't give a fuck if he's lose an eye. He don't give a fuck. Let's just do this shit.
Yeah, I feel like Jimmy Martinez does have a cut on the face.
Dante Nero.
Oh yeah, Dante. We've also had Dante.
Oh shit. Yeah, so me and Dante, we know each other for 40 years. Every bit. And he used to
comedy.
Before comedy. Before he even started doing comedy, he used to strip.
Yeah.
And everybody knew that. And he and his crew would let me open up for them. But that didn't
you don't need to say
right. But
you did some comedy before the stripping started.
Right. I was
not open up.
I've seen him beat people ass, like straight, like he likes bar brawls. Like that motherfucker will punch you out. Like he gets in, like he loves that shit. Not only is he big, but he takes all types of fucking kung fu he's used to. Anyway,
right.
I've seen him in a thong beat somebody's ass. beat the fucking brakes at the South Oxford Tennis Club in Brooklyn. He was in a fucking thong. His stripper name was Mandingo. And I guess guys was fucking with him because he was a stripper, but he had to show he would beat the shit out of him. He would be another one. And he's so calm. He's older now, but he's real. Like, I wouldn't want to fight him.
Yeah, he would still snatch you up.
Right, yeah, I wouldn't want to fight him.
Weight behind those punches.
He
knows how to punch.
He did all that judo, the grappling. He did it before it was popular.
Right. Yeah.
Grappling and judo. And
back in the Bruce Leroy days.
Right, like he was real serious with it. So I guess maybe about 3 fights I've seen him at.
Yeah.
Clear. I've seen him knock the dude out before he even started fucking shaking his body and getting the dollars.
Yeah.
Because a dude grabbed his ass or some shit and he turned around, cracked this dude with a fucking elbow to his head and started shaking, getting this one. He
did it in stride. It just had him and moved.
Dante, yep.
There's a video of him knocking a guy out. It was on like a trailer for a show that they were doing, and I don't know if it ever got made, but like I somehow saw this trailer, and Dante hits hard. It was just boom, out
Right,
cold.
and he's not aggressive. Like he's not one of those guys that know that I'm big, who wants it. He'll be sitting down, just his boots on, airing in his ear or nose, whatever fuck, and you just look at him like, okay, this guy, you know, no problem.
Yeah, he's like a guy who's like sitting at the end of the bar. He's got just an air about him.
Yeah,
you know,
don't want to have that. But Dante and Jimmy.
Yeah, another name that I heard. I never saw him. I never met him or anything like that. Scruncho.
Scruncho's from LA. Oh yeah.
That's a name that pops up on this podcast every now and then.
Scruncho.
A little bit,
yeah. Scruncho got some, you know, Oh yeah. He's LA. Yeah.
LA
he's everything. He's
Is he still out there? Is he still out?
Yeah, he's still out there. He was actually, I mean, he still tours a lot. He's still, and he's mature too. Like I don't see that. He just, he's another person.
Everybody's older.
Yeah, but that's the thing. He's mature, but you don't want no problems with him. And he has that whole LA shit. That it's really real. Like it is really real.
Out there.
So Squancho is
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, maybe we'll have to get him on the old pod one day.
We'll do a remote one.
Yeah, that's a remote one. Be safe in case we gotta cut the
you know what?
cast.
No, but I'm gonna make sure if he's on this side, he'll come and share his stories. Like it's in some people. I'd rather him share his story, but there's some people. We know all the people that he's had problems with, and you would be surprised. You'd be like, no, like God, I'll let him share that.
Open invitation to come on the show.
Hey, that's right.
You got a couple fans here.
What about? I know you do that show in Amsterdam all the time. You ever see any stuff out there?
So I have a residency. I was just sharing him.
Yeah.
15 years I've been out there. 15 years in the Netherlands. We do Rotterdam, Amsterdam, New Utrecht, Haarlem. We do London. We do Germany. I've been out there for 15 years.
So do you ever see anything out there?
Fights? Yeah, it's totally different though.
Right.
Out there, everybody is mobbed up. Like it's like the Moroccans, the Egyptians. They're like mobbed. It's like the people that we take for granted here that we'll laugh at. Like you won't fucking laugh at. And they're all short. He's all short. But it's just they're on some different level. Their gangs are on some mob shit.
Oh yeah, I remember me and my buddy fought a swarm of Persians, and they were all like this big, dude. But they just kept coming.
Yeah, these guys don't stop. And then you got the it's an Irish bar there. Like these guys look to fight.
Yeah.
Every Friday, like somebody gets, and then they'll tell you, you might want to leave. It's about to get crazy in here.
Yeah.
And they just start fucking pounding each other out.
Dude, I'm usually out the door at 12 o'clock now because I don't want, the thing I don't want the most is to run into me 20 years ago.
Right. Oh my gosh.
That guy is a problem.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, let me just get out of here.
And then you got the Russian guy. It's different. Dude. It's real.
Yeah.
Different. And they but you know, in Amsterdam, the crazy thing about it is that, you will get a fine for drinking before smoking weed or cocaine.
Right.
Yeah, they'll give you a fine. You have a fucking beer outside, they will write your ass up, but they'll turn their eye to cocaine or some weed. Weed is legal, but if they see hash and they be like, man, God, just enjoy. That's just like when you go through their customs. There's no real, they just like, don't get in trouble.
Right, no weapons.
Right. Don't get in no trouble. Have a good day.
Yeah.
Have a good day.
Yeah, you got a brick of weed on you, and they're like, that's fine. You got a little Swiss Army knife. They're like, get in the room.
Right. So, and that's been cool. But I do a lot of military bases as well still, because I was in the Army. So.
Oh, right. Yeah.
But that's been going good. Yep. That's been going real good.
Did you see any fights when you were in the Army?
This is when I knew white boys were crazy.
Yeah.
Because I grew up obviously around.
There's a lot of because there's a lot of conceptions that are preconceived notions that like white guys are just like ABC Modern Family whites,
Right, until you meet like some white boys from Arkansas.
Yeah,
don't give a fuck. We'll take a beer
boys.
can and fucking
smash it with their head.
I don't even want to fight this dude if he's taking a fucking beer shit and smashing it. Yeah, a lot of people. But social media now, that's not true.
Yeah,
because you got some white boys like, yo, let's do this. I've been waiting for this shit to fight a black guy and kick his ass. And beat the shit out of Raheem. They want to beat the shit out of a Raheem, not a regular corporate black guy. Fucking beat up a hood dude. Like, let's do it. And it's like, I don't know if it's a stereotype, but of all the fights I've ever seen where these guys just want to go It's like a Braveheart scene. It's something about a drunk ass Irish guy.
Yeah.
And he's all bloodied up. The eye is missing, and he just want to still fight for his fucking country. And he was like, "Come on, dude!" Like those dudes fight to the death. I think it's
those guys are also usually 23.
Right.
You know,
But
they're
fight
in that
to the
invincible
fucking
era.
death.
You know.
So, but yeah.
Yeah.
And then you see the fights on the trains. I am for the underdog when you see these videos pop up and the adults are beating shit out of people.
Oh yeah, we
I'm
love
the
that.
Fucking y'all should.
Yeah, exactly.
Underdog.
You see,
Those be in my favorite video files. Like, remember the guy who came here? They from Panama. He was a pitcher, and he was messing with his A-Rod jacket.
Yeah.
They kept calling him the 8-ball jacket.
Oh, yeah.
And he slapped the shit out of this girl. He slapped everybody on the fucking train. He just went on the bus driver.
The bus driver uppercut was classic.
Yeah.
That guy's a legend.
Oh yeah.
I'm a big fan of people fucking these kids up.
Yeah, because that's it too. It's like because like especially as you age, you know, you're like, oh man, and we're not there yet,
Right.
But like you see it coming, dude. Like when you're a 65-year-old man, it's something like, shut up, old man.
Yeah.
And you're just like, let me just muster up the strength one last time.
Clint Eastwood and Gran Torino just going out on your shield.
Stab him with a boot or
Oh
something.
yeah. Oh, the bus driver uppercut.
Oh yeah. Shit.
Oh, you going to hell now. Oh yeah, what a classic.
Boom! Hold that! Jesus!
Wow.
And throw her ass off the
Farouk.
fucking bus.
That was a Street Fighter 2 uppercut.
Oh yeah.
Out of a video.
I feel like he probably was memed in on the car beating up scene. There's that uppercut. Oh, dude, that thing started from way downtown.
Love that.
Yeah, what a classic moment.
Yes.
I do love old guys getting their one last digs in. You know?
The punch is like a Popeye punch.
Yeah.
Bus driver just crushes a can of spinach and just buckles her.
Yeah.
No,
Oh well,
cool,
listen.
man.
I think that's the what do you got coming up that you want to push? That said, we're probably 3 weeks away from releasing it.
Okay, then you know what? So yeah,
It's May,
right? It's May, yeah. Well, I have a residency in Brooklyn at the comedy club you were at.
Oh right.
And I have a residency at the comedy club up in Harlem.
Okay.
And I always do them the first Saturday and the second Saturday of every month.
Okay.
It's comedy in Harlem and
Park
Club
275.
275.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Nice.
Feel free to come there. And
cool.
I'm doing a show, me and my writing partner, Michelle,
Yep.
at Joe's Public Theater in July.
Oh, cool.
great.
Yeah, we're doing
right on.
2 shows there at Joe's Public
Oh
Theater.
yeah. I like working with you guys.
Yeah.
All right, cool, man. Brooklyn Mike, check them out.
Thank you, man.
Social media stuff. Do you want to push?
All handles Mike Troy 00.
All right, beauty.
Thank you.
That's
All
the
right.
Fight Stories. Yeah,
That's
make
another
sure you
episode, baby.
Comment, rate, subscribe. Smash that button. Hit the bell for alerts. Do all that thing. Follow us on all the socials. Tell your friends, baby.
Hey guys, this is John Moses from Fight Stories. If you like this episode, please share, subscribe, comment, send it to a friend. Also, more importantly, if you have a fight story and you want to be on this show, we want to hear it. Hit us up in the old DMs late night.